Hello, I'm the Eternal Newbie. The extra L is for libations. Today's lesson/story comes from a homebrew game. We had a session 0, and this was basically session 1. We'd been taken to an island where there was a giant pit in the middle and a town built around the pit. By giant, I mean giant. So the party's job was to join a guild and help explore this pit. When we arrived at the island, we go to our new guild hall to meet the NPCs already there. And then we pretty much have the night open, so we're talking about what to do. We end up going to visit the local magic shop. Anyway, the guy running the shop is pretty rude. And we're new in town, so we're not rich enough to afford anything. The shopkeep dismisses us, and then a party member asks those fateful words. "Do you have any potions?" he says. The shopkeep replies with an evil gleam in his eye that I mistook for astigmatism. "Well, I have these ones I just made, but I'm not really sure what they do." In retrospect, the evil laughter should have been a clue. Now, take some advice from your old Uncle Newbie. If someone, anyone, ever offers to let you test their potions for free, do yourself a favor and say no. At this point, I'm ready to go to the tavern, but one of the group decides to try a potion. He takes it, and after failing a constitution save, he regresses to the age of a 12-year-old boy. Did I mention he's an Eldarin? Think elf, only more magicked up. Now, I wasn't really paying attention. I thought he shrank. But I figured he's an elf, so who would even notice? I'm ready to go, and I'm walking out the door when the shopkeep says, "Anybody else?" There are 5 of us, and 2 people of the party pipe right up and say they want one. 1 potion left. I, not wanting to look like a wimp, decide to take the last one, ignoring the fact that it's black and there's swirling smoke inside. It could be a good thing. Did you know, in Dungeons & Dragons, potions can be permanent? Well, I didn't. Here's what happened. The Eldarin was already a kid. One of the party members actually passed his constitution check. I developed a fear of cats. Like, I am deathly afraid of cats. Yup, that's me, the mighty monk who's afraid of house cats. I break bricks with my bare hands. I can catch an arrow fired at me and throw it back, but if I see a house cat, I pee myself. The party is wondering what happened to me. After all, they'd just seen one party member skip back to puberty, but I don't want to share my weakness. So I lie. I tell the party that I'm fine, and after passing a deception check, they buy it. The other party member, a gnome who also failed, started talking to himself. He told us he saw another version of himself, only it was a half-elf female with his name. She did seem really nice though. He is the only one that can see her. We leave the shop, and our guild leader is out waiting for us in the carriage. She yells at us and takes us to the town's version of a hospital. Like, drinking a potion that you had no idea what the effects would be is a stupid thing? Come on.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
The receptionist at the hospital is, of course, a tabaxi. Yeah, a cat person. I am frozen with fear. Cats are nightmare creatures. As I slowly start to back away, a party member pushes me forward. Now, I'm a little wood elf, and she's a giant dragonborn, so there is no escape. My party members, not knowing about my phobia, start to think I'm a racist, an anti-tabaxi. After they check us out, they tell us it will cost a few hundred gold to cure each of us. We don't have it, so we leave. Our new guild leader is pissed at us and cancels the tavern for the night. I was really disappointed because it was trivia night. When we get back to the guild hall, she yells at us some more and then goes to her room, disgusted. It was here we realized that the gnome's hallucination was more than just an hallucination. It could see things the gnome couldn't and tell him what it saw. One member of the party had a great idea. "Let's go gambling," I say. The rest of the group thinks this is brilliant. After all, we have something that no one can see that can look at everyone's cards and tell the gnome what everyone has. With visions of riches in our eyes, we sneak out and head to the seedier part of town to win some cash. I figure we're already in trouble, so what's the worst that could happen? I predict clear skies ahead. Here's some more free advice from your good old Uncle Newbie. Never ask what's the worst that could happen. As soon as we hatched this plan, the hallucination, ghost, whatever it is, changes from a half-elf woman to a halfling male, a roguish type. Now this should have been a clue, but we just wanted to get paid. We get to the club and there's a bunch of people dancing and some gambling. Our gnome loses his imaginary friend going through the dancing crowd, and when he tries to call it to him, something happens. Something bad. I predict nothing but clear skies ahead. Remember when I said what's the worst that could happen? Well, something's about to happen. The gnome is a wizard, and he starts talking differently. Something is not quite right about him. He starts a game that's basically 3-card Monty. The gnome watches the dealer mix up the cards, and then, as he goes to pick a card, he casts sleep on the dealer. The dealer falls asleep, and the rest of us are freaking out a little bit. I mean, we're in a crowded club, late at night, in the seedier part of town, and our friend just cheated the dealer. Remember, this is our first night in town. We get out of there, but not before our warlock, remember the 12-year-old? Yeah, him. Grabs the dealer's sack of money. A couple of us slip out, no problem. The gnome and our fighter get held up in the crowd. Well, the gnome got held up. The fighter, seeing this, goes up and punches the guy blocking the gnome. A mountain of a man. But then again, so is our fighter. He does max damage and the stranger is seeing stars. At least that's what we hope happened. We get back to the carriage and make it home. On the plus side, we split the dealer's money and each get like 100 gold, so I'm closer to losing my fear of cats. On the negative side, we just robbed a club in front of at least 100 witnesses and possibly murdered somebody. We did later find out that when the wizard started acting weird, it was because the spirit thing actually possessed him and took over his body. I'm sure that won't cause any future problems. That was our first night in town. We set out to have a fun night at a tavern and ended up stealing 500 gold and knocking out a random person. One of us is now 12 years old. Another has a ghost who can possess him whenever it wants, apparently. And I'm afraid of cats. Take it from me, the Eternal Newbie. Don't drink strange potions. On an unrelated note, I have high hopes for our party. Thanks for watching. How about doing your old Uncle Newbie a favor and hitting the subscribe button? Also, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see in a future video. And as always, play your character. Don't let your character play you.